5 strikers Manchester United could actually sign this summer after Erik ten Hag admission. Erik ten Hag says Man United will scout for another attacker this summer and there are several realistic options to consider. Erik ten Hag has confirmed that Manchester United will be searching for a striker this summer. With Anthony Martial due to leave at the end of his contract, United will be left with one natural centre-forward, Rasmus Højlund, upon the Frenchman's exit, and so will need backup. Marcus Rashford can play as a striker when needed, albeit has been largely ineffective when asked. Ahmad arrived at Old Trafford as a central striker but has been morphed into a right-sided winger, and anyway could be leaving this summer given his lack of game time. Since returning from long-term injury in January, having spent £72 million on Højlund last summer, and with Sir Jim Ratcliffe having to balance Premier League profit and sustainability rules, it's unlikely United will spend frivolously on another. Attacker Serhou Guirassy has been linked with Manchester United, probably the most likely target on the list. Guirassy is an appealing prospect. He has 26 goals in 23 matches this season and is the reason why Stuttgart are on course for Champions League qualification. Several reports mooted that United had sounded out an interest in January, and no wonder. The attacker is thought to have a £15 million release clause in his contract. Guirassy has been very open about a move to England too. "I cannot hide these things. Everyone knows the Premier League is one of the most competitive leagues in the world," he said in November. "But at this time I don't close any doors. There are some very big teams in Europe and it's not focused only on the Premier League." Those comments will only invite more interest in the Guinea star, who turned 28 last month. United might be in for some competition, and without Champions League football will be in a worse negotiation position. Jonathan David of Lille. David is enjoying a fruitful season with Lille, netting 23 goals in 40 matches and is only behind Kylian Mbappe in the Ligue 1 scorers chart. The Canada international doesn't turn 25 until next January and so is perhaps not yet at his peak. Lille are understood to want around £50 million for the attacker, but if United can barter the price below £40 million for a player who will soon be entering the final year of his contract, then it might be a worthwhile gamble. The positive in such a deal is that David would challenge Højlund for a spot, rather than merely settle for second fiddle. The sticking point may be Arsenal, who have been linked with David and could perhaps offer more game time, albeit Mikel Arteta is considered to be leaning towards a more versatile attacker. Lois Openda. Belgian international Openda has been a bright spark for RB Leipzig this season, scoring 25 goals in 39 matches across all competitions. He has netted against Bayer Leverkusen, Bayern Munich and Manchester City this term, so is not one to shirk a big game. Diogo Dalot. It's a fact. Diogo Dalot contradicts Man United manager Erik ten Hag and admits to major problem shoppers snapping up a nifty garden storage solution for £40, cheaper than Amazon, B&Q, and the range shoppers rush to buy brilliant £40 garden storage solution as price drops below B&Q and the range. "I want to be a top player. I want to play for the best teams in the world," he told The Athletic in January. Perhaps encouraging for United to hear the concern is his current physique. The 24-year-old boasts a slender figure and questions would be asked about his robustness in the rough-and-tumble Premier League. That said, he's been injury-free all season and has bags of pace, as seen against Man City. Contracted until 2028, Openda would not come cheap, though, nor would he settle for being a bit part player in the long run. He is 3 years older than Højlund and has more Champions League experience. Some convincing would Need to take place Dominic Solanke. There are several things to say about a possible Solanke approach. Having previously played for Liverpool, the player may be tentative, albeit a move to United would be hard for someone in his position to turn down. There is also a danger of recency bias. His 16 Premier League goals in 31 matches is a healthy return, but this is the first time he has tallied double figures in a top-flight campaign. But the question perhaps should be asked, should such numbers be expected from a striker who would play a rotational role? Does he even want to play a rotational role? At 26, Solanke might not wish to settle for second best at a club. However, United do need a second striker, and it's not like they haven't purchased ex-Liverpool players before. Solanke may not be high on the list, but he is an affordable option at circa £30 million if other ventures fail. The bright lights of Old Trafford may be too much for the attacker to resist ultimately.